Welcome back to College Football Game Night, live.
Welcome back into the College Football Game Night. Raiders Stadium down in Southern Oregon and Ashland empty today while Southern Oregon football enjoys their much-needed bye week before hitting the road one final time this season to take on 15th-ranked College of Idaho. This is the third season in a row the two programs have now met for their regular season finale. Luke Doan has the history of the matchup and what the Raiders will need to do to potentially pull off the upset in Caldwell, Idaho next weekend.
Just under a year ago, the SOU Raiders saw their NAIA championship hopes end in the regular season in Caldwell, Idaho. Ranked 14th before their overtime loss, the Raiders fell 8 spots and out of the championship bracket. This year, though, it's the Raiders who have the chance to do something similar to the 15th-ranked Yotes. And it's been a common theme of this matchup the last 2 seasons, the underdog pulling out the win.
2 years ago, we had them at home. They were ranked 5th in the nation, and we came and, it was Coach Brown's first year here, and beat them on our home turf to end the season. So we have them in 2 weeks, and I'm really hoping to do that again.
SOU looks to replicate that 2023 win next weekend. While they do come in as the underdogs, their game against Carroll last Saturday proving that this team can hang with anyone. Head coach Burke Brown will be the first person to tell you it was a disappointing loss, but that he's feeling encouraged going into the last week.
We've matured as a team, to come back in that second half and eventually take the lead, showed that our guys are growing. We're growing not just who we are on the field, but where we are at mentally and how we can take on challenges. And I was extremely proud with how we responded.
One thing the Raiders will absolutely have to do to pick up a win on the road against the Yotes, find consistency, and get going a little earlier. On offense a week ago, this team really didn't click until the second quarter. While they were able to move the ball, several drives stalled in Carroll territory. Now let's go ahead and talk about this senior group heading into their last college game. For them, the season has been full of ups and downs. They're the last group that Brown inherited when he took over this program 3 years ago. And despite those ups and downs, Brown says week in and week out, they live up to the standard of energy, enthusiasm, and execution you see represented by the 3 E's on the back of their helmets.
My hat's off to them, man, what they've been through and how they've handled all the adversity that they've handled. You look at us and we're 3-6 right now, but if you come to a Tuesday practice, you'd never guess it.
So the SOU Raiders will conclude their season again next week on the road against the College of Idaho. An impressive season for the Raiders, just kind of filled with a few mistakes down the stretch in some of these games where they maybe could have looked at it maybe above 500 season or so, but hoping to end out the season the right way. Also, as the college football regular season comes to an end over the next couple of weeks, things are beginning to heat up all across the nation, especially with the first college football playoff rankings released just earlier this week. Now, all the chaos getting that much more intense all across the state, the nation, and especially in a top 10 matchup over in Lubbock, Texas. Number 7 BYU taking on number 8 Texas Tech. Certainly didn't feel like one, though, if you watch this game. The Red Raiders dominating from start to finish. Baron Morin, fake handoff, the moonshot to the corner. Caleb Douglas comes down with it. Patrick Mahomes, loving what he's seeing second half. It's Bear Bachmeier hoping to get BYU back in this one under pressure. Instead, gives it up to Jacob Rodriguez on the flip. The insane one-handed pick, the concentration to come down with that one, puts Texas Tech in great field position. It's 19-0. A shutout in Lubbock. Cameron Dickey, the final knockout blow, punches in from a couple of yards out. Somebody just say, night-night already from Texas. Maybe BYU shouldn't have been ranked so high, or maybe the Red Raiders are potentially just that good. Only time they're going to tell us that soon. Texas Tech picks up the big win one way or the other. A dominant win. The final 29-7 Red Raiders. Number 5, Georgia out in Mississippi for some Bulldogs action. Kamario Taylor, at the helm for Mississippi State on the 3rd and 3 drive deep in Georgia territory. He takes it in himself. 4 yards out for a 4-yard score. Maybe this one's going to be interesting, or maybe I just spoke too soon. Blake Shappen coughs it up, fumble on the ground. Georgia recovers, and this is where the wheels start to kind of fall off for Mississippi State. Gunnar Stockton looking to air it out to Alyss Williams. Leaping catch, looking like Megatron with the grab. Georgia would score just a couple plays later to take the lead. Still second quarter, it's Stockton. The RPO pulls it back and connects with Oscar Delp. Too easy for the Bulldogs offense. Georgia starting to pull away in this one. Final moments of the first half. Stockton going back to work. Easy little pass on the bubble screen to Zachariah Branch, and Branch does the rest. Find home in the end zone. Good sir. Georgia wins in a landslide in this Bulldogs matchup. The final 41-21, Georgia. Let's head on over now to some more SEC action. Auburn visiting Vanderbilt and the Commodores. We're going to kick things off in the second half. Diego Pavia looking downfield, seeing the busted coverage, connects with Trey Richardson. The 57-yard dart puts Vanderbilt up by 1. Moving on to the fourth quarter, the craziness getting even more wild. Tigers needing a touchdown. Ashton Daniels connects with Cam Coleman. The one-handed grab from 23 yards out. What has been with some of these incredible plays today? Something's in the water. Auburn has to go for 2 to force overtime. It's Daniels to Coleman again. Incredible work. If it's gonna work once, it's gonna work again. We're heading to overtime. Commodore is gonna get the ball first. Pavia, the lob. It's Cole Spence, the tutty. Vanderbilt is up, meaning Auburn has to find the end zone to keep the game going. 4th and 7. Daniels, the throw to the end zone. No good. Vanderbilt survives the scare at home. They take this dub in the final seconds, the final 45-38. Vanderbilt, only 3 weeks remain on the season, so what's coming up next, though, for the Ducks and the Beavs? Stick around and find out when we come back with more on the College Football Game Night.